the pyrolysis plant can process the waste tire and the plastic into the fuel oil, which is kind of a heating fuel. So it can use for some heavy industries like cement plant, steel manufacturer, and glass factory, and brake factory, and boiler as well. So it has a wide usage. And also you can get the carbon black from the pyrolysis plant. The carbon black also can be used for heating fuel, just like if you want to, it can replace the coal. And the carbon black can be also further refinery to the
有买家进入直播间了。
finer carbon black. It will be has a higher value. And this is a pyrolysis processing floor. Firstly, we can feed the waste tire and plastic into the reactor, and then we open the burner to heat the reactor. After achieving the certain temperature, it will produce the oil gas. The oil gas will be passed by the first buffer tank for relieve the oil gas flow rate, and also it can be purify some impurities, and then it will go through to the 2 vertical condensers. This is our first step condensers. Then the oil gas will be cooling down into the liquid oil, then collected in the first oil tank.
有买家进入直播间了。
And then the oil gas will pass by the water oil separator. It's kind of safety device, and also can be at the part of the condenser because it also have the cooling effect. Then the oil gas will go through the third cooling step. We have the 2 horizontal condensers. So most of oil will be cooling down here and to be collected in the storage in the third oil tank. And most oil gas will be cooling down into the liquid oil after the 3 steps cooling systems. But in case if the workers are not skilled into operate the burner, so there will be some, if the temperature is getting higher, maybe there will be some excess oil gas will be produced. So we have set up the first cooling system, cooling towers. So the oil gas will pass by from bottom of the cooling tower to the top. So the oil gas goes slower, then it can have a better cooling effect. So we have 4 steps cooling to achieve to make sure the oil yield. And then all the oil gas will be cooling down into the liquid oil and be stored in the oil tanks. There will be a certain of gas cannot be cooling down into liquid oil, which we call the syngas. The syngas is a flammable gas, so which can use for heating the reactor. So after the water seal, the cooling gas,
有买家进入直播
the
间了。
syngas will be recycled into the head to the reactor. And then because we use a burner to heat the reactor, so it will generate some smoke. So before we discharge the smoke, we have the dedusting systems to control the emission. So don't worry about the environmental protection. See here, we got the final product of the pyrolysis. For the raw materials, we can use tires and plastics, and also oil sludge. So different raw materials can get different oil yield. If you want to get higher oil yield, you need to choose the raw material
有买家进入直播间了。
with a higher oil content. Then you will get a higher profit. So for our pyrolysis machine, which is kind of production line, so some customer may be care about the safety, how we control the safety of the whole plant. The firstly, when we manufacture the machine, we will do some just like when we manufacture the furnace of the reactor, the pyrolysis reactor. We will adopt the arc-shaped pressure vessel type reactor head, so which is formed by one-time compression in the head factory. This type of the head has particularly strong pressure resistant, so which also can anti-pressure. And then when the machine is running, we also have the oil water separator, so which can anti the oil gas backflow, which can ensure the safety of the whole operation. And after the machine running, after finish the processing of this pyrolysis plant, before we discharge the carbon black, we need to cooling down the reactor, and we will use the vacuum system to help to save the time of the cooling reactor cooling time. And also, after discharging the carbon black, we need to open the furnace door to start another batch, but to ensure there's no residue oil gas in the reactor. So we also use a vacuum system to push out the residue oil gas into the cooling system for cooling, so which can ensure there's no residue oil gas in the reactor. And also we will put the safety valve. So when running the machine, if there's some pressure, if the pressure is getting here, if it produces some pressure, the safety valve will relieve the pressure immediately, automatically. And also the alarm will inform the workers to check what happens. So that it can ensure our machine whole processing is full of safety. And how we do the environmental production, this also is the question most of people are cared about. For our pyrolysis machine, we use the recycling water for cooling, so there's no water pollution and no because we use the water in the whole processing is circulating, so there's no any pollution of the water. And also we don't have dust pollution because for our machine we produce the carbon black, so which is kind of byproducts. And also we will collect the carbon black in a sealed condition, so there's no worry about the dust pollution. And some customers think there will maybe have a bad smell of the plant. Actually, it has a bad smell, but for saving this problem, our engineer has designed a device which can control the smell, the bad smell. And also we have got the patent for this device. This device we called the syngas purification system. Just like what I said, we can get a certain part of the gas which we call the syngas. The syngas can be used to heat the reactor for saving your heating fuel. But if you use it directly to heat the reactor, it may produce a bad smell. So before we use the syngas to heat the reactor, we have the syngas purification system to purify this kind of syngas, so we can control there's no bad smell. And there's no air pollution because just like what I said, it may produce generated smoke, but before discharge the smoke, we will use our dedusting system to treatment the smoke to achieve the emission standard. And also there's no noise pollution. The noise is less than 50 dB, so don't worry about that. There are some project installation cases. This is in Mexico. We have set up 10 sets of 10-ton pyrolysis machine. This machine is installed in Georgia, and this is the machine is installed in Ghana. So some customers may worry about the machine installation because they say our machine is very huge, so they don't know how to do it. So now I can tell you that you don't need to worry about it. For our machine, we are not just selling a machine or products to you. We will also transfer our technology to you, and also we will, when you receive the machine in your site, we will send our engineer to your site. He can help you to install the machine and also to debug the machine and running the machine. He will show your workers how to operate the machine, so that your workers can learn how to operate the machine. Finally, you will get all the technology of the machine. So you can know our project is almost a turnkey project. You don't need to worry anything about it. And after that, if you have any questions about the running machine, you can contact our sales manager in any time. So we will provide the long life service for you.
有买家进入直播间了。
What I introduced to you just now is our batch pyrolysis machine, and also we have the full continuous pyrolysis machine. This continuous pyrolysis machine is a trend in the future, I believe, because most country government now, they are encourage people to set up the full continuous pyrolysis machine. Because for the full continuous pyrolysis machine, it's more safety, more environmental friendly, and also it's more safe labors. Compared to the batch pyrolysis machine, the full continuous pyrolysis machine can process large capacity. So if the customer has the raw materials with a large capacity, such as is higher than Oh, I see a customer who is asking a questions. Can the diesel produced be used in the modern common wheel diesel cars? Actually, for the diesel, we got from the with the tire and plastic, which is kind of non-standard diesel. So which means it can use if you want to use for the cars, maybe you need to mix with some standard diesel. It will be better. And if your car's the engine is a Euro 2 or Euro 3, maybe you can use it for your cars. But if your cars has a Euro 4, Euro 5 engines, you cannot use the diesel to your cars directly. It is better to mix with some standard diesel. Okay, so if you have any concerns, small concerns, you maybe can leave your WhatsApp number or email. So our sales manager will contact with you and explain more to you. Okay. So if the customer has the raw materials with large capacity, the capacity is more than about 30 tons per day, I suggest him to use the continuous pyrolysis machine, which will be more cost effective. And if some European countries and American countries, they wanted to use the full continuous pyrolysis machine, which we can save a lot of labor cost for them. So and we can see the profits analyzed about our pyrolysis machine. Just for example, about the 10-ton pyrolysis machine. Firstly, we need to calculate. You need to find out what is your local price of the tire or plastic. Then, just like if you're, just for example, in Chinese market, if the tire with the tire price is about 700 RMB Chinese yuan per ton, so if you wanted to process 10 ton tires per day, your cost will be 7,000 Chinese yuan. Okay, there's another customer is asking questions. Is that should I pre-treat with the tire for the continuous pyrolysis machine? Yes, definitely. You may know about our continuous pyrolysis machine because for the full continuous pyrolysis machine, we need to achieve the automatic feeding and also automatic slugging. So if we don't preheat the tires, if it's contained steel wire, maybe it will get stuck during the running. So before we feed the tires, we need to pre-treat the tire into the below 5 mm rubber powder. That will be better. This is our feeding size requirements. Hope you will know this. And we also have the heating cost. We need to use the extra heating fuel for heating the reactor. Because even most of the heating fuel will be replaced by the syngas, but also we also need to use about 400 kg heating fuel to use extra 400 kg heating fuel for heating the reactor. Just like if you use the produced pyrolysis oil to heat the machine, and the pyrolysis oil price is about 3,000 Chinese yuan per ton. So it will cost you 1,200 Chinese yuan per day for the extra heating fuel. And also it will need the electricity. It will be 20 kilowatts per hour, so it will cost you 200 Chinese yuan per day. And for the water is circulating, so it almost no need. And also you need 2 to 3 workers for the whole plant, for control of the whole plant. If you need 3 workers, the per workers will cost you 200 Chinese yuan, so per day will be 600 Chinese yuan. So for your running cost, just like raw materials and heating fuel and electricity and labor costs, and you will get the pyrolysis oil, carbon black, and steel wire. You will get 4 ton to 4.5 ton pyrolysis oil. The pyrolysis oil price is 3,000 Chinese yuan per ton, so you will get 12,000 Chinese yuan per day. And you will also get 3 ton carbon black. So if you sell the carbon black directly, the cost will be 300 yuan, Chinese yuan per ton. So you will get 900 Chinese yuan per day. But if you want to get a higher value, you also need to refine the carbon black. Then the price will be 1,200 Chinese yuan per ton. Then you will get higher profits, like 3,600 Chinese yuan. For the steel wire, you can sell it to the steel factory. So you will get 1.5 ton steel wire per day from the 10 ton with the tire. And the steel wire price is about 1,500 per ton, so you will get 2,250 per ton Chinese yuan per day. So finally, what is your profits for per day, which is about $6,150 per ton per day. So almost there will be about 2,000 US dollar per day. So we can see there will be a very big unit profits if you do this Pyrolysis project. For some customer who has a little knowledge about the Pyrolysis plant, so I will introduce more about this project. So as we know, for every country they will have the waste tire and plastic or oil sludge. This is kind of pollution for the earth, actually. So most of them maybe are solved by the landfill, burning, or recycling. So our Pyrolysis machine just is one of the recycling way. So some customer may think about the profits of the Pyrolysis project. That's why here I'm introduced about our Pyrolysis project to you and let you see the profits of the Pyrolysis plant. As what I said, the different oil yield for the different kinds of the raw materials. For the tires, the oil yield will be like in a certain range. It's like a 40% or 35%. But for the with the plastic, because there are many kinds of plastic, so for different plastic, you can get different oil yield. Just like a PE, PP, PS, for these three kinds of the plastic, you can get very high oil yield. But for some ABS or some packing bags and some others, maybe the oil yield will be lower. But most of the customers, they will use mixed plastics. So the oil yield is from 50% to 17%. It depends on the content of your plastics. But what I need to say, the PVC and PET is not suitable for the Pyrolysis oil, because the PET is not content the oil. If you process the PET, maybe you cannot get oil, then there's no profit to do this project. And if you process the PVC maybe will produce the acid.
有买家进入直播间了。
So you will need to the special steel for the Pyrolysis reactor, just like a stainless steel for anti-corrosion. Maybe some customer asking, so if I process with the tire and plastic to get the fuel oil, but in my country, most of people they're using the diesel. So there's no market for the heating fuel, for the pyrolysis oil. Don't worry about that. We also have the distillation machine, which is kind of refinery plant, which can refine the pyrolysis oil into the diesel. And also the machine, the distillation machine also can refine the many kinds of waste oil, just like waste engine oil, waste motor oil, waste lubricating oil to the diesel. The processing flow is, firstly, we will pump the waste oil or pyrolysis oil into the reactor. And then we will heat the reactor for distillating. And then you will get the oil gas. The oil gas will be cooling down into the liquid oil and then storage in the oil tanks. But after you get the oil, we also need to use the purification system to treatment this kind of oil into diesel. Finally, you will get the diesel and asphalt. The diesel oil yield is very high. It's about 80 to 85%. The diesel can be used for the tractors, steamship, trucks, and boilers. So if the customer has the raw materials just like with a tire and with the plastic, they finally want to get diesel. You need 2 sets of plants, pyrolysis plant and distillation plant. There are some successful installation cases of our distillation plant. Our distillation machine is very different with some refineries in the market. There are some advantages of our distillation plant. We adopt the faster heating system, so which can save the distillation time for the whole plant. And also, if you want to get a better oil quality, you can also to add the oil filter. The oil color can be lighter by the filter system. For further oil decoloration, it works together with plants. Finally, you will get the light yellow oil. This is the final product and output rate of the distillation machine. You can get 85% diesel and also you can get 10% asphalt. The asphalt is a byproduct can be used to paving the road, or you can sell it to the asphalt plant or construction company. And then you also get 5% syngas for recycling to head to the reactor. Also can save the heating fuel. So we can see this picture of the tire pyrolysis oil and diesel. This is diesel just after filter. So if you just want, maybe some custom asking, if I just filter the pyrolysis oil, what kind of oil I can get? So it will be like this. And if you use our distillation machine, you will get this kind of oil. If you use our distillation machine and the filter, you will get a light yellow oil here. So now I can also introduce about the profits analysis of our distillation machine. For example, if you wanted to buy a 5-ton
有买
distillation
家进入
plant,
直播间了。
what will be your running cost? Firstly, of course, your raw materials. As we know, the waste oil price will be higher than the waste tires or plastic. So for 5-ton waste oil, it may cost you 9,000 Chinese yuan per day. And the heating fuel, you also need 400 kg extra. So it may cost you 1,920 Chinese yuan. And also you need to use the catalyst for treatment to the oil to get diesel. So it will cost 600 Chinese yuan. And for the electricity, it will 50 kilowatts per hour. So it will cost you 300 Chinese yuan. And also water is for circulation. Three workers, it will be 300 Chinese yuan. So finally you will get 85% diesel, which is about 4.25 ton. So you will get 20,400 Chinese yuan. And asphalt, it will get 825 Chinese yuan. So finally, you will get 9,100 Chinese yuan. Which is about 1,500 US dollars per day. Of course, if you buy the higher capacity distillation, you will get higher profits. It will depend on your raw materials capacity and your budget. For the distillation machine, we also have the environmental production. For the distillation plant, there are also no water pollution because we all use the recycling water for cooling the oil gas. The oil gas and the water, no touch, so no pollution. And for the air pollution, we all use the dusting systems, such as like a smoke scrubbing systems and also desulfurization systems. So it can control the air pollution. For the distillation machine, it will produce only 5% syngas. So there's after the soot device almost no smell. So there's no smell pollution. And also no noise pollution. The noise is less than 50 dB. For our machine, we also have the many certificates, just like a CE, ISO, EPA certificates. If it's your first time to import our machine, you don't need to worry about that because we have rich experience to help you to get the certificates that your customer may require. And so far, we have exported our machine to more than 90 countries and regions. So if you want to know more about our machine and also the profits analysis, you may contact our sales manager. We will provide you a more detailed project report to help you understand the whole plant. Okay, so today I hope you will more clear about the profits analysis after my introduction. So we will see you next time.